Does anybody celebrate Lent?
I assume.
Woo! Lent! Let's have a Lent party.
Come on over. We'll eat fish.
You observe. We observe Lent.
Yeah,
we observe
we don't celebrate
Look,
Lent.
there it goes.
I have done no preparation whatsoever for this episode today. I did negative preparation, and this is because I was really busy.
No.
I just have a lot going on.
I know.
And none of it is like nearly as important as this podcast, and yet somehow I have managed to prioritize it lower than it should be.
For me, it's the other way around. All the things that are more important than the podcast aren't getting done.
Right. No, that's correct. Hi.
Hey, what's up, man?
What is up? Let's see.
I think we both got our. Did you get your second vaccine shot yet?
No, March 12th, I get my second vaccine.
Oh my God, that's
shot.
the same exact day that I'm getting my second vaccine shot because I got my first one last week.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah, mine. Maybe it's. Did you do the Moderna? I mean, is that the one they gave you?
Yes, it is. I got the Moderna vaccine.
I got the Pfizer.
Pfizer. Yeah,
Pfizer. You have to make sure that the PF is a unique phoneme. It's a unique type of plosive.
Yeah, Pfizer.
Pfizer. We both are going to have to clean our pop screens after this.
Wait, you have to clean them?
No. I mean, I don't know. Don't ask me that question. Don't put that idea in my head. I've never cleaned a pop screen in my life.
That's right.
Yeah, I guess, it's because the Moderna is 4 weeks later is the second one, and Pfizer is 3 weeks, so it's timed exactly the same. That's crazy.
It is crazy.
Crazy, man.
I know.
By the way, what's been playing here is the band The Ocean Dwellers with their single An Orca Paradise. And this is actually, a lot of people don't know about this band. It's like a geek rock band formed by 4 grad students in marine biology at Caltech University, actually. And they actually had a similar single called A Dolphin Paradise, which, due to a spacebar-related typographical error, was recently banned in Germany. So that's kind of an interesting bit of, they've been in the news lately, if you've seen that article.
I haven't, but I believe you. I have no reason to doubt you, ever.
Yeah, I'll add a ba-doom-tsh thing, every time we say anything remotely funny.
Just to let people know this is when they're supposed to laugh. This is the laugh time.
How else are they going to know? I mean,
laugh
that's
time
why
now.
Sitcoms have been so successful, over 70 years, because they tell people when to laugh.
That's right.
Yeah.
This, I think I wanted to mention something. We got some interesting feedback, if you will. We got some interesting ideas submitted to the Mad Hat email address for this episode, since our last episode, which is great. I think we got 3 or 4 ideas, which is just, it makes me feel so good when people do that and they collaborate with us in this thing we're making together that they have to spend 5 seconds working on and we have to spend hours working on.
But you haven't spent any time working on it since the last episode.
So I mean, you are spending hours working on it. Yes. What I really liked, my favorite comments so far have been related to whether or not the Marble League is really a sports team, which is the poll that we should be putting on the website. And so far, all the responses are no, it's not sport, which is wrong. And I'm surprised I'm in the minority here.
I've only heard from one person. I don't know if you heard from
well,
others.
that's 100% of our listeners.
100% of the people who I've heard from have said, yeah, the one guy.
He's like, it's not even a thing.
But he agrees with me.
Yeah.
So, thanks,
Yeah.
Chris.
That's right.
Yeah, I do have. Listen, there's something I wish I wanted to look more into this, and I ran out of time. But since you have nothing to contribute, I'll just fumble my way through this. Because one of the suggestions we got for a topic for the Mad Hat was from Bob. Hey, Bob. Thanks, Bob. But I'm not including your topic in the Mad Hat.
No.
So he asked. Actually, I should bring it up. I don't even remember. He asked something about candies pioneered by the Soviet Union. Just this random question, and I was like, this is a really goofy thing to look into. What kind of candy did the Soviet Union make popular? And I didn't really. I was like, well, that's something we'd have to research. So it would work better for a segment. So I decided to kind of look into that, and I didn't get very far. But I found this one article it's from Vice.com from a couple years ago. How Russia fell in love with candy bars made of blood. Anyone who's squeamish should maybe skip this a little bit. It's probably going to gross out some people, or if you're eating. But many Soviet children grew up loving the sweetness, texture, and slight metallic twang of Hematogen bars without knowing what was in them.
Are they called Hematogen bars?
They were called Hematogen bars, and they
my gosh!
So they were I don't know, considered a wholesome and healthy treat. I guess they were officially produced as an over-the-counter supplement to treat anemia.
Right.
And
that makes sense.
They were supposedly made with beet sugar, condensed milk, and syrup. But actually, they were made with at least 5% cow's blood. And I guess a lot of people weren't aware of this. This became a really popular thing where even if you didn't have anemia, kids would stop by the pharmacy. They were sold at pharmacies, but people would just buy these candy bars and eat them. And this went on for decades. I guess they're still, I think they're still sold. But yeah, so that's one highlight coming from. That's one contribution that the Soviet Union had to sweets.
I never in my whole life would have
blood
guessed
candy
that.
bars. It's people.
Hematogen is people.
Yeah, so it's officially it's made of beet juice. Unofficially, it's made of cow's blood. But even more unofficially, it's probably made from traders of the motherland or something. I don't know.
True.
I mean,
yeah, that sounds very believable. I know that things can be a little bit desolate and a little bit depressing in Russia at times, but this seems a little bit far. This seems like a little bit, like you're trying too hard, Russia.
Well, to be fair, I guess. People eat all kinds of things that somebody wrote this article to be kind of elicit this response from people who aren't used to this, to be like, oh my God, blood. But people eat things with blood in them.
I've eaten blood.
There's blood sausages. There's and I guess
I had blood in soup. It was delicious.
There's a paragraph in here that says Hematogen wasn't a rare product or a brief experiment. Actually, no, hang on. This may sound like one of the many bizarre consumer good relics of the Soviet era, a product born of thrift, pragmatism, and centralized totalitarian production and distribution. But the roots of Hematogen predate the USSR. For starters, most human cultures have a long culinary tradition of consuming animal blood. So
sure.
There's blood is as some, I don't know who said this. See, I haven't fully read the article. Blood is incredibly nutritious, packed with protein, vitamins, and minerals. So,
I mean, sort of.
I don't know. So it's kind of like, I guess it's not as unusual as it sounds when you think about it in like a larger scheme of world history or
Sure.
something.
But maybe Total from Kellogg is a better choice to get your iron. I'm just saying.
I'm surprised it's. I'll bet.
Oh, by the way,
really,
they're not a sponsor. I just wanted to check there.
I'll bet they're really popular in Romania.
Oh,
anyway,
yeah, there it is again.
There it is again. Did you hear it? It came out of nowhere.
Oh, I'm laughing. See, it worked.
See? Well, anyway, thank you, Bob, for at least inspiring that bit of research.
Important segment.
Yeah. I mean, this is like we're getting off to an early start here. I think because
this is fine. There's no limit. There's no limit on how fast this has to go. Or how slow
we better
it
have
is.
a good topic. Yeah, we're going to talk a lot about because I guess we got nothing left to do but to consult with the Mad Hat.
Yeah.
But first, this podcast was brought to you by Easy. What? What the hell is that? Is that the fire alarm? That's the fire alarm. Okay.
I guess we better. I mean, it's probably just a false alarm. We don't want to take any chances, though. Maybe we should.
Yeah. Okay. Just go. I'll meet you outside. Okay.
All right. Matt.
What?
Matt, I can't get out.
What?
The door is jammed. I can't open the door.
Okay, just stay where you are. I'll come to you. Oh my God! Okay, just don't move. I'm coming to get you.
No, Matt, it's too dangerous. Just go. Get yourself out.
No! God damn it! I'm not leaving you.
What's that sound?
Matt! What? Where are you? What? Okay, just keep shouting. I'm gonna try to follow your voice. Matt, I can hear you. Are you in there? Oh God. Okay. Shit. Okay. Matt, I'm gonna try to break down the door. Man. Oh God. Oh my God, man. Are you hurt? Can you walk?
No, I think it's broken.
Oh God, I can see the bones sticking out. Okay, we're gonna get you out of here. Here, put your arm around my neck.
Just go on without me. Oh, save yourself. It's too late for me.
God damn it, don't talk that way. We're getting out of here together. Okay, deep breath. Oh God, I can't see anything.
I can't go on.
Yes, you can. Stay with me. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, we need to get a safe distance away. Matt, you have to stay awake. Matt, wake up. Wake up. Oh God, he's not breathing. Okay, two fingers from the end of the sternum. Okay. Oh, come on, don't you die on me! Breathe, goddammit! Not today! Damn you! Not like this! Matt! Oh, thank God!
Matt!
Oh, I thought I'd lost you.
You saved my life.
Oh, it was nothing. You would have done the same for me. Oh my God! Our studio. Oh,
It's over. The podcast. Everything. It's all over.
yeah. There's no coming back from this. Hey, what were we talking about before?
I think you're about to pick a topic from the Mad Hat.
Oh yeah, the Mad Hat. All right. Let's take a look here. Yeah, luckily I always make sure to keep a spare Mad Hat in my go bag.
Oh, that's a good idea. Oh, ouch.
Yeah. All right, let's see what we got. It's gonna be fun. Oh, here we go. Tell a story about a time that you mistook something for something else.
That's a good one.
Well, I didn't realize it was a fire alarm at first.
That's funny now. Now that the studio is destroyed. So tell me, you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
I don't. I think this was a topic you suggested, and it's funny because this is one of the first topics you put in, and like I've been looking at it and thinking about it off and on, and I can't even think of a good story. It's really embarrassing. I'm like, maybe I'm traumatized by how embarrassed I am when I do this, and so I've just blocked it out of my memory. Or either that, or it's so trivial that I don't even care to remember it. So I don't even remember like a good story about a time I mistook something for something. Maybe you'll inspire me if you
or maybe mistook somebody for somebody else. Like maybe you thought it was a famous person, it turns out it's not, or something. And then it turns out it is. Like who? Like it could. Like, do you have any stories? I know, for example, you used to live in New York, and I know that in New York is a whole world of lies and illusions.
Right. No, I don't know. I did see a lot of celebrities. I mean, if you live in New York City, you're just going to see celebrities every so often because they're just there. It's probably even worse in LA. I don't know, but usually I either knew it was them or I wasn't sure, but it was never confirmed. So I can't even. I mean, I do have I can give you a list of the people I've seen that are famous. I'll just names drop this whole episode.
Doesn't that give you some kind of credibility? And so therefore it would be a good move to do. Isn't that how this works? So let's see. Yeah. I was thinking I don't have anything prepared, obviously, because that's the whole point of the show. But I think I often so there's something my wife and I sometimes do where we go to back in the pre-COVID days when we used to see other people, we would go to places and we'd make up stories about the people who were around us. I don't know if you've ever done this before with your lady friend, but I think
you introduced me to the robot game. That's one thing I like to do.
Yeah, that's a great example of, making up a story.
You're just in a public place and you look at the people passing by and you decide which one of them are secretly robots.
That's right. Yeah. That's a lovely one. But my wife and I, that's too fanciful for my wife because it's too science fiction-y and she doesn't like that sort of stuff. Instead, we tell stories. We'll say these people, they must be this is a father and his daughter, and then they are going. They're celebrating his recent promotion, and of course, the mom is divorced. Their mom is not in the picture; she hasn't been in the picture for many years, and that's where the table's sitting there together, talking like that, and drinking some champagne or something. And that's and we make up the story about the people we see around us to explain them and just to keep ourselves entertained while we are either waiting for our food or just hanging out in a restaurant or something.
Yeah. The robot game is better.
That's over there.
So what?
She's a robot.
Does this lead to a story about mistaking someone for someone else, or you just
No, like
Is
this.
something
Well,
you
so this is
reminded
like the opposite. That's like that just reminds me of it. Like
Well,
I think I might be
I
like
was
you, where
thinking-
like
Yeah,
I
but
also block out those memories because they're embarrassing.
Well, actually, what you reminded when you talked about, you said pre-COVID. Actually, one thing that's interesting in terms of like recognizing faces. See, I don't know if you've had this experience very much because you've been mostly sheltering in place. And a do-si-do, and a swing your
That's right.
partner, and a shelter in place, and a shelter in place, and a shelter in place. I just always
And
thought it
never
sounded.
leave. And never leave.
I just thought it always sounded like a square
hold
dancing
down.
move.
Yeah.
Well, so in my job, I'm out all the time, right? I'm seeing people all the time, and for a while I was running one route that was my route, and so I knew all the people that when I was delivering at all the stops, and everyone started wearing masks. But then I got moved to a different route, and I started seeing all these people that I'd never seen before, and they're all wearing masks, and some of them like. I probably still haven't seen the lower half of their face, so I don't know what it looks like, right? But what's weird I've noticed is because for some of them, like I didn't see them for a while, the lower half of their face, and then like they were in a situation where they pulled the mask down, and I got to see what anything other than their eyes looks like, and there's this weird like this psychological like thing your brain does where it fills in the gaps. So based on the way somebody's eyes look, I imagine what their nose and mouth will look like.
Sure.
And like,
yeah.
And they like just by their eyes, they'll look like recognizable to me, and I'm like, oh, I know what this person looks like. Like I feel like I know what this person looks like.
Yes.
And then like there's this one owner of this restaurant that I would see every day, and something about her eyes made her look similar to like a different manager of a restaurant that I'd seen on a different route. And so like my brain automatically imagined her mouth and nose looking that way. And like I thought that's what she looked like. And then one day I saw her with the mask off, and I actually genuinely had a moment where I was like, who is this person? Like I didn't even realize it was her. And then I was like, this
must
is the
be a new
person. This is
person
the person
on the-
this is the person I've been interacting with. I just did not expect, And I guess it's like kind of like, in movies, in movie characters where they're like this character that wears a mask all the time and they finally get revealed like Darth Vader, and it's never what you expect. But this is like a weird version of that because it's half. Like you still have some information where you see their eyes and then.
But it's lies.
Yeah, and it's been very weird. I don't know. I'll bet other people have experienced the same thing, or I'm just crazy.
Well, so that reminds me of listening to people on the radio or singers or something, and then looking up their picture online or seeing their face somewhere else and being like, oh, that's what they look like, and but like I'm hearing, like, for example, people on NPR talking about the news or something, and in my mind I have like this vision of what they look like that is completely and in every way divorced from reality. There is nothing, like, I generally get the gender correct, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then these, and then I see them in real life, or I find a picture of them or something, and I'm like, I never would have guessed that was the face that went with that voice or something, and I get really confused in the same way.
Yeah. And for me, I think if it's just a voice that I'm hearing, and I haven't put a face to it yet, when I see their face, I have the same response. But I feel like I would have that reaction no matter what their face ended up looking like. Like I mean, honestly, like I've thought about this. Like it's like Boba Fett or something. Like, whoa, this is, I'm just doing Star Wars references. That's all.
Yeah, that's
I'm doing.
fine.
But whatever, like somebody with like a really cool voice and a really cool mask, and you're like, this character's so cool, and then they reveal their face, and you're like, oh, I'm disappointed. I don't want their face to look like that. And then you realize, well, what did I want their face to look like? And you realize that
there's no answer.
There is no answer. I didn't imagine their face looking like anything.
They would just, they
don't
take
have
off
a
their
face.
helmet.
They don't have a face.
And it would just, instead of the face, it would just be the word cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
So,
But getting back to the topic at hand, I think that I'm with you that I can't really recall times that I mistook something for something else because I find them really embarrassing, especially if it's humans. Like, it's
Yeah.
like, I've now been alive enough. I'm 37 years old, and I've been alive, and it's going to be your birthday soon. Anyway,
Yes.
37. I'm 37 years old, and so that's enough time alive on the earth, and I've met enough people that now everybody looks like everybody else, and so I'm constantly second guessing myself if I've met this person before or not. Like,
there's like your face, your brain categorizes like types of faces. Like, this person has this type of face.
Yeah. And then I've met people who are actually face blind, who man who mistook his wife for a hat, kind of face blind.
What?
But, there's this book called Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat.
Now we're getting to the correct topic of the day. This is face blind?
So there are some people who are unable to recognize faces.
Like at all?
Yes.
I didn't know this.
Like, there's something built into humans that identifies like the eyeballs, the nose, the mouth, like general pattern, and you're like, that's a person, that's a face. And some people's are so tuned to that they can see faces in things that don't have faces in real life. Like you look at a rock and you're like, there's a face there, or you look at the moon and you're like, there's a face in the moon, right? But some people on the opposite spectrum, they don't see faces almost anywhere. And so there are some people that they always can recognize, but it takes them a lot longer to see people and recognize them. They'll use other cues to figure out like who someone is, like their mannerisms or their voice. The voice is a really good signal. So as soon as I had a coworker this way, and as soon as he would kind of give me this little side-eye look, and I started talking, and he was like, it's Matt, no problem. We'd have this conversation. But it would take him a lot longer to learn my face and to learn my way of being, to recognize me.
Is this in any way related to autism? Do you know?
I would not think so, but I'm not an expert in this at all.
Right.
There's a fancy word for this face blindness.
I know that autism sometimes is associated with trouble like recognizing facial expressions or like emotions from people, I think.
So the man who mistook his wife for a hat is by a famous neurologist named Oliver Sacks, who died actually not so long ago. And
that's the name of the book?
The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat.
Is that a true story? Is that just the title of the book?
That's a true story. And he talks about weird like brain things, some of which I believe he also suffered from. And so suffers from. So he has like some personal experience as well. But anyway, but writes his book about these different cases and this just the strangeness of how like and like the insights you gain about the way the brain works or the way the mind works as a result of these people who have like some part of that doesn't work the same way as everybody else's. And so it's fascinating.
That's got to be an interesting book because I'm sure I've read like things about psychology or something, or the way our brain, it's kind of like our brains are designed to like like those optical illusions where like you see like a dotted line and it's in the shape of a circle, and so our brain sees a circle or something. Like our brain like fills in the gaps and looks to form shapes. And I think that's true of faces too, probably even more so. Like we're like biologically, because like, or like if you like look at a cover of a magazine and someone's face is there and you're looking at it upside down and it doesn't look like the same person. Like you see it upside down, and you're like, that's Jake Gyllenhaal or whatever. And then you turn it over and you're like, no, it's George Clooney. You're like, Actually, I guess that's a good example of mistaking something for something else. That happens to me all the time when I see a picture upside down of like a famous person and I think it's one person. And then I turn it over and see it right side up and it's a completely different celebrity. Yeah. And or like when you see like different, parts of someone's face, like you cut up a photograph and you see different places and you don't put it together until it comes together, and then you see, it's like our brains are wired to see a face as a single face, even though there's different parts to it, and it's like difficult to separate them into the different parts, and at least for me.
I just thought of another Mad Hat topic. which is, do people go into college to study things because they want to understand their own situation? Like, do people who have crazy families want to become psychologists because they want to understand their crazy family or whatever? Because Oliver Sacks, he was a neurologist and he knew he had a neurological condition and became a neurologist and then was able to explain it because of his neurological background. I was just thinking about that. That's a great topic. I'm going to put that on the list.
Well, some people do, for sure.
I'm going to put it on the list. I'm going to put it on the list. On the list.
I mean, you studied math. What the hell does that say about you? You just
that I wish the world. I wish the world were more mathy.
you just had all these night terrors about numbers, and you're trying to.
How did you know?
I want to understand why I'm so afraid of 7. Why is 7 so terrifying? I'm fine with 6 and 4.
But anyway, I would love to also hear about any of our listeners' stories. If they have a good story about a time they mistook something for something else, I'd love to know it. And if Matt and I will read it, the story, and if we like it, we'll share it or some anonymous form of it.
Yeah, we'll pick the best
episode.
one. Yeah, we'll pick the best one and share it or something. And then, because we clearly have totally lame answers to the question.
Yeah, but if you want, people listen because they want to hear our voices and hear us talk. So that in that regard, we're nailing it.
Yeah. But I mean, what do they think our faces look like? I don't know.
Oh.
That we should do that. Are you tell our audience to draw a picture of us? Draw a picture of the two Matts. Yeah, they all know what we look like because they're just like our Facebook friends right
That's
now.
right.
So.
Hi, Matt's Facebook friends.
Yeah.
How you doing? All right. Well, I feel like we've covered that topic. I feel like we can put that topic aside.
I guess so. There's nothing else to say about mistaking something for something else at all.
Ever. In any form. I like the idea I like how we took that in terms of like talking about different people mistaking, because I mistake things for other things all the time.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh, is that a pencil? No, it's a pen. It's like, oh, is that a,
That's a really great story. Why didn't you start off with that? Why didn't you lead with that, man?
I don't have that sense. I was
mistaken for a woman a couple of weeks ago. And do you see my beard?
Your hair isn't. I mean, your hair is sort of long, but it's not like long.
No, but you could see it as one of those like middle-aged like old lady haircuts or something.
You're also not particularly tall. I mean, this is not offensive.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not
I was wearing
tall.
the mask too, so if they weren't looking at the sides of my face, they were embarrassed though, and I played along and screamed at them. No, not really.
And said, "Get away from me!"
Yeah. How dare you?
Anyway, so is there anything else that we need to do to wrap up this episode?
I mean, I don't think so, man. That's it.
Great.
We're done. We got to play a song here. So thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We'll catch you next time.
Don't forget to submit your ideas to the Mad Hat. So you go to our website at matthatters.com. You can,
yes.
MATTHATTERS. No, that was too many T's. MATTHATTERS.com. Right?
Right.
Okay. Anyway, there's a link there. You can submit your own ideas to the thing, and maybe I'll figure out how to make that poll.
And tell us a story
next episode
about how you mistook something for something else.
Yeah, I really want to know. I want to know about these times. And just know that we will absolutely read them, and maybe read them out loud on the podcast. Yeah,
please include your social security number and your full name.
A small check for $25 shipping and handling, which we will read, aloud on the podcast. Oh, I forgot to mention. This is the wrong order entirely. I forgot to mention, someone contacted me and said the same thing happened to you. The same thing happened to you happened to her. Where her identity was stolen. Someone else tried to claim insurance, unemployment insurance. Yeah, it's
it's out of control, man. That's
Yeah.
what I'm told.
I guess. Anyway, sorry to interrupt. I'll let you get on. What are we listening to now?
Well, you're listening to the band Gigolo Jedi with their brand new hit, Baby You Light My Saber.
I'm sorry for being such a bad actor.
No, it's even funnier that way. And it'll be no, you know what? It's good because it's good. Yeah, it's funnier on a different level, you know, in a different way. Just being honest.
Oh gosh.
No, it's good.
All right.
It's good though. It's good though because then people, won't think there really was a fire.
Screw you.
They're like, "Oh my gosh, is there really a fire?" And they're like, "No, his acting is too bad. Let's just enjoy it."